Hey, I'm Jeremy, the founder of Focus Bear. I've got ADHD and autism, which is my superpower. My brain constantly fires out creative ideas, and I can concentrate on my ideas for hours on end. I've started multiple businesses, sold my last one, and I've had a pretty good career. However, it didn't start that way. I got fired from my first 5 jobs, which was both financially destabilizing and a massive hit to my self-esteem. I turned my career around, but many neurodivergent people never experience stable employment. Unemployment rates amongst people with autism are 8 times higher than for neurotypical folks, and it's also an issue for people with ADHD. With more and more people getting diagnosed, this issue is only getting worse. We need a way to tap into the creativity and problem-solving skills that neurodivergent people can offer. I've been working on an app called Focus Bear that can help neurodivergent people channel their hyperfocus and not get distracted. Speaking of channels, I found this awesome competitive axe throwing channel on YouTube. It's so good that I just have to show you right now. Oh, this pop-up is saying that axe throwing might not be relevant to delivering the pitch. It's probably right. Did I mention that I have ADHD? I should probably go back to telling you about the app. Focus Bear is an executive functioning enhancement system for people with ADHD and autism. It blocks distractions, helps you stick to routines, and makes sure you're on time for meetings. I built it for myself originally, and now it's being used by ADHDers all over the world. Many of them are high school and university students. They use our focus mode feature when they're studying to help avoid going down rabbit holes. They tell Focus Bear what apps and websites are relevant for study, and everything else is blocked across their computer and their phone. This has made a big difference to their study habits. Instead of getting derailed after a few minutes, they get into hyperfocus and power through their assignments. To avoid getting burnt out by all that hyperfocus, Focus Bear can remind you to take breaks regularly. My favourite is active breaks, like doing a set of push-ups, but you can have it remind you to drink water, stretch, or go for a short walk. Without these breaks, I end up with really bad headaches by the end of the day, so I definitely recommend them for everyone. The other feature we have is real-time habit coaching. At the start of the day, your computer and phone are locked until you complete your morning routine. I find there's a huge difference in my ability to focus if I start the day with some exercise and meditation. You can do your habits on your phone, your computer, and very soon on your smartwatch. In the evening, you can do an evening routine to wind down. Afterwards, Focus Bear locks your devices so you can sleep well. If there's an emergency, you can unlock it, but I've put a password on it because I seem to have emergencies nearly every night. Now I have to convince my wife that I actually need to use my devices after 8 PM because she's got the password and I don't know what it is. Since we're here at the National Educators Conference, there's one thing I'd like to get your feedback on. Could this work in schools? I've spoken to a few teachers who've said that although laptops are an important assistive technology, especially for students with dyslexia and dysgraphia, they can also be a huge source of distraction. Apparently students get around school proxies by hotspotting or using a VPN, and then instead of doing their self-paced math study, they are playing games or watching videos when the teacher isn't looking. I can't blame them. Playing games was my coping mechanism when study felt too hard. Focus Bear could help here. If all the students had Focus Bear installed on their computers, the teacher could start a focus mode that would only allow access to the learning tools that are relevant for that particular class. In maths websites would be allowed. In English, different websites would be allowed. If the student has a moment of weakness and, accidentally on purpose, opens a link to an online game, Focus Bear will gently nudge them back to what they set out to do. Micro breaks would be helpful too. Every 20 minutes during class, the app would remind students to do some star jumps or dance like no one's watching. Similarly, parents can set up Focus Bear to help their children stick to routines. A recipe that might work well is an afternoon routine where after the child comes home from school, they put their lunchbox in the dishwasher, put their uniform in the wash, do 15 minutes of homework, and then get 30 minutes of unrestricted screen time before their device is locked for the rest of the day. Obviously, this isn't going to work if it's a unilateral directive where the teacher or the parent is using software to try and control the child. Given how many ADHDers have PDA and ODD, that would probably result in smashed computers. However, I don't think that type of harsh approach is necessary. If I think back to when I was 13, I genuinely wanted to do well at school. I just got distracted easily, and once I was distracted, it was very hard to get back on track. Focus Bear would let young ADHDers externalize their executive functioning so they can actually do the things that they want to do. What do you think? Could this work in schools? I'd love to get your feedback.
I'm here right now in the Zoom webinar. Feel free to drop feedback in the chat. Otherwise, email me at jeremy@focusfair.io or text me on 0414 885 787. Enjoy the rest of the conference.